Hello everybody, welcome to day 3 of the July Junk Journal Challenge. I'm Christina. Welcome to my studio, Scrapcraft and Stitchery. I am super pleased with how this challenge has been going so far, and it is now day 3, and this is my journal. I have day 1 and day 2 finished, and I am ready to start day 3 here in July. And so if we check the prompt list, this is number 3 is botanical, and I love botanical illustrations. That is the first thing that pops into my mind, and I have printed out a few things, but I looked it up because I have an idea. So let's talk about what I want to do for this page. So I love these botanical illustrations similar to this. I think they're so beautiful. I printed out a few things. So this spring, and I've kind of dropped off now that it's gotten a little bit hotter, but I was walking a lot back in March and April, and as I was walking just around my neighborhood a lot, I found it was fun to kind of identify some of the plants. Back in the spring, there was these mulberry trees, and they were growing berries, and they eventually got ripe, and I got to get a few off of the side of the trail while I was out walking. And so what I am going to do for my day 3 is I want to do kind of a record of the mulberry tree that's been important to me this year, and I've learned a little bit about it. They have these cool leaves that are like the size of my hand, and I think I'm going to do a background here that shows like these very different shapes, and the ones that grow here in my area are red mulberry trees. And so this is the Morus rubra is the Latin name, and I'm going to just make an entry as if it was in the style of a botanical illustrated book, and I'm going to do it Christina's junk journal style. And so what I'm going to do is I want to flip out here that kind of is like this shape, but also includes just the general shape of the tree, which is why I've kind of printed a few pictures off of the internet as references. So I'm going to do a flip out here that gives me the side that's a tree that has a tree attached to it. That'll be fun. It'll be kind of this shape. That'll flip out. Underneath that, all this page, I want to have the various leaf shapes. These leaves get huge. They're like bigger than the size of my hand. And I brought one home the other day to press it, and I didn't have a book big enough for it. They're so big, but they're cool. Sometimes they're like this, and sometimes they're very lobate like this. So I'm going to put leaf shapes on this, and I'll use this as a reference for that. And then I just kind of will probably up in this corner put some of the berries, which are fantastic. And then I think over the leaf shapes, I might do some journaling about the importance of the mulberry tree and why it's important botanically. And I'll do that kind of here and leave this, and I'll see if I think it needs anything else. But I think that that's going to be fun, and it'll be kind of like a science notebook or an illustrated guide. That of course is day 2, which the video should be out now, so you can check that out and see how I did this. This is day 1, so we are in fact on day 3. I'm so excited for this. And just wait until you see when I do something vintage tomorrow. I have a very fun idea for that as well. So, but back to making our illustrated guide. Let's get started. Probably paint this background, maybe make these leaf shapes. How exactly should I do this? Maybe I should just put them on here directly and then paint them green and then add these like veins. So I pretty much changed my mind that I really wanted to show the shape of the tree well. So I went ahead and switched this and put the tree onto the page, and I'll make a flip out with the leaves. And so I switched that right away. And here I am using some ink to just draw in the basic shape of the tree and its branches. I did not like those sprays. I think the blue oxide just made it very kind of faded into the background and into the blue. So it seemed like it was really soaking too much into the paper. So I went ahead and put some gesso on it and allowed that to dry. And here I'm going back in and going over it again just to kind of make that tree pop out a little bit more. And now I'm moving on to cutting out the leaves. And so what I did is I cut the leaves out from my printout and I glued them on. I really wanted to show how many different shapes the leaves make on these trees. It's very cool. And they make some really cool lobed leaves. So I just put them on some cardstock that I found. I really liked this green paper. It's got almost this like shiny, like silvery on the front, and on the back it's just kind of this green, almost, it's just cardstock, but it's really cool and I really liked it for these leaves. So I am going to cut these out and fussy cut these out to hopefully kind of show that these leaves are serrated. I really kind of wanted this to look like a stylized botanical illustration. I don't think I really got there, but I really do like this page, and I do think that it really does capture my time that I kind of spent with these trees and walking and, just being out in, urban nature here in the city I live in. So this has been really kind of a fun thing for me to learn about over the last couple of months and see these trees bloom and then produce mulberries. So I am just really excited about this whole page, and again, just trying to capture these trees and what I've learned about them as as I've been walking in my neighborhood and the things that I've found. So this is really cool that this is allowing me to make a record of, how I've been spending my time. So now I am starting to show the berries that grow on these trees, and they're basically, like a blackberry or a raspberry that have all the little segmented parts. So I basically just mixed some plum purple with some black to make a deeper purple, and some pink, and I mixed that with the purple or with the black to make kind of a red color, so you can show what they look like as they're starting to ripen, and then when they get really ripe and sweet. Birds love these too, by the way. It's not just me. Fantastic tree. I love this tree. I had started out and I was going to do 3 different plants, but I decided to narrow it down to just this one tree. I thought about doing a honeysuckle, and I thought about doing, the honeysuckles are fantastic here too, and then there's these, a native grape plant that grows here too. Here I'm adding the tag on the side of this page. So I did the journaling the same as I did the journaling for the poem on the first page. Like I said, I chose to do the text the same throughout this journal, and so that's why I did that. And the only thing left now in day 3 is to stamp day 3 done. And this is the calendar I have in the front of my book so that I can kind of mark off the days as I finish them. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope that you're participating and doing at least some of these. And so far, I mean, I'm having a great time doing this. I hope you'll check out my other videos and stay tuned for day 4, which is something vintage, and I have something I'm very excited for that prompt. Thanks for joining me today at Scrapcraft and Stitchery on this July Junk Journal Challenge 2025. Bye!